What's up, everybody? Mr. Second Best. We're checking in from Cuenca, Ecuador today, where I'm going to cover the current rental market and where to buy and, where to rent and where not to rent, particularly in the city if you're not too familiar with it, right? Now, first and foremost, like anywhere in Ecuador, I do recommend you actually come to Cuenca first and then look for a long-term rental and try not to find one before you get here. I would just stay in an Airbnb for a few weeks while you look. I know it's kind of a hassle to lug around all your stuff and you just rather go straight to where you're going to live, but trust me, you really want to visit a place here in Ecuador and see the surroundings before you commit long-term, because often if you give a deposit before you arrive, it's happened to me, that money's gone. Even if you arrive and don't like the place and decide not to stay, they ain't going to give that money back. So something to think about. Now, first of all, a few areas to avoid in Cuenca, right? And that is, like, the first area to avoid is anywhere around this is the old town here, right? And then when you go east to the old town, northeast, you get to the bus terminal and the airport. This whole area here is just not very nice for living. And then this whole area here, just north of the airport, like it's called Barrial Blanco, near the Parque de la Luz, just not a good area for living, right? So if you see maybe an inexpensive apartment over here, I would definitely second guess it, right, before committing to something in that area. Another area I would avoid in Cuenca is just to the west here of the old town, called the Feria Libre area right here. And the surroundings. It's a big outdoor market and it just attracts the wrong type of crowd. You don't really want to be. It's a nice market to visit in the daytime, but you don't really want to be living there, right in this area here in the Feria Libre. It's called. Third area I would avoid, using the old town as our guide and the river here, is the Plaza del Arte area. I would skip this area as well. Just kind of to the northwest of the old town. Just not a very wholesome area. I think it's okay to walk through in the daytime, but I would not personally want to live there if I had the option. Now let's talk about where to live in Cuenca, where most of the expats like and prefer. The old town, right, it has a lot of narrow streets, nice for walking, but not much parking, a lot of traffic and congestion. The buses whip around, right, like inches from your head on the sidewalk, and there's noise and there's a lot of bars and restaurants. Again, nice to visit, nice to be near the old town, but I personally would not want to live there myself, although quite a few expats do, so to each his own. Instead, I would choose the area just to the south of the river here, borderline the old town of Cuenca. It's called the El Bergel, near the Avenida Solano here. Very nice area where several expats call home, and you're super near the old town, right across the little river from it, and but you're just out of it. And the area, looks something like this, right? So you'd be living here and something like this. So you could live in a high-rise or find a villa house available. A second area that most of the expats prefer to live in Cuenca is just to the west of the old town, along the Avenida Ordóñez Lasso, where the Hotel Oro Verde is, and just to the south of there, this whole area here near the river called Puertas del Sol, where in the mornings you could have walks along the river and have scenes like this, like a lot of Cuencanos do. And the third area where I personally would live in a heartbeat is where I stayed, right just to the southwest of Old Town. It took me about a half hour to walk to the Old Town the other day. Here, right along the river, and on the road, Avenida Primero de Mayo, right here. You're right before the Mall del Rio over here, which is nearby. And right along here on the borderline areas of Mesicata, an up-and-coming area here in Cuenca. This whole area here, very nice. I was impressed, and every morning I did take walks like this, right? And along the river there on the Primero de Mayo. Very nice area. I was very impressed, and definitely a middle-class area. Probably not too expensive. Now, as far as prices go, in these areas that I just mentioned, right, the Primero del Mayo area, borderlining Mesicata, the Puertas del Sol area, and the El Vergel area, you're looking at, for a furnished apartment, around $450 to $550 a month for a nicer furnished two-bedroom or more apartment in this area, right? A house or a small villa might run you a little bit more with a yard. Now, if you're looking for something in a two-bedroom apartment unfurnished in these areas, you could probably find in the $250 to $350 range, right? And these are prices that usually don't include the electric or water or internet, because they're long-term rentals, so you're kind of expected to have to put your own internet. But when you rent furnished in Cuenca, I've found often they do include the services and the internet all in the same price, the $450 to $550 a month. But you often have to share the internet, maybe with people above or below you, so I'm not sure how convenient that might be. When internet's only 25 to 35 bucks a month, currently a good plan, 50 megabytes per second, up and down here in Ecuador. So anyway, those are three areas I would consider living in a heartbeat here in Cuenca, and many other expats do as well. Again, I would avoid the Old Town and pretty much anywhere north of the Old Town, and I would stick to the El Vergel area, just south of the Old Town, stone's throw from the Old Town, or about a half-hour walk or about a 10-minute drive, the Avenida Primero del Mayo area, I also really like, or the Puertas del Sol area, just south of the Avenida Ordóñez Lasso, where many expats call home in Ecuador. You kind of have this beautiful river as well, and just really nice walking opportunities on into the Old Town. So anyway, that's it. Hope you like this. I'm Mr. Second Password. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button below. Take care.